You don't miss much.
Yeah.
You wait an hour and a half to watch a guy shadow box for 5 minutes.
Right? That's true. We'll talk about it right now when we get started.
Down in this round.
Oh, good right hand by Thurman.
Yeah, he stepped into it when he threw that right hand.
Yes, he did. And now Pacquiao.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Against the Ropes. I am Gio Garcia. I am alongside Christian Mosqueda and Christian Rodriguez. We are back for episode 46.
Yeah, we have a special guest here in the building for the Too Legit Show, Mr. Alex Fernandez. Welcome.
Woo! Happy to be here, guys. Thank you for having me on the Against the Ropes podcast, the #1 boxing podcast on iTunes. You make sure to subscribe to the Against the Ropes podcast.
That's right.
I had to come in hot, guys. Everyone,
Yeah, that's
it's how's everybody's day going, man? I'm pretty excited to be here.
So, hot.
Warm,
hot, but-
moist.
Conserving my energy.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel you.
Yeah,
It took me like 20 minutes just to walk here from my car. I'm going to take my time. Dude.
Felt like an
It's
hour.
hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
All right.
It's nice and cooling here, though.
Yeah,
Nice and
Yeah.
cool.
It's about to get hot, though.
It is.
a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to start, man. How did your show get started? Where did that fire to start a show of this caliber started?
Oh, geez. Well, I've always been involved in YouTube. So
Okay.
back in 2010, I had a gaming channel. So I was a pro gamer. I would record gameplay and I would talk over it. And that's how I would start. Eventually, I started making money from it. It ended up being a full-time gig at the time. And at 2011, imagine trying to tell your parents, yeah, I play video games, right? And I put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay. And I get paid. Get your ass in class. Man. What you talking about? So I did that for a long time. Channel was good, all that stuff. So I kind of had my chops there interviewing pro wrestlers, NBA 2K, all sorts of games, right? Then took a job doing behind the scenes. And I was like, man, I'm sick of this talent management stuff. I have to be in front of the camera. I have to interview guys.
Yeah.
I got to be in front of it. So I started the Too Legit Show October, and then pretty consistent this year. And people seem to dig it. It's just me yelling in a mic. And I don't have a co-host. I usually just edit it really nice and have a guest come on and shoot the shit. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Of course.
Shoot the shit. We have fun. And Too Legit Show, and then we have Too Legit Fight. And yeah, man. I just talk about all the sports, but I love the sweet side. I love boxing. I love combat sports, and that's really my love. I love talking about it. It's a crazy sport to love, as we all know.
Yeah.
I like how they always ask, can they curse after the fact?
Right?
Just get it in there just to make sure.
Yeah. No, so how long have you been following boxing in particular? I know you cover a lot. You said you cover a lot of sports, and we've seen that you cover football and other sports. But when did you start covering boxing?
Yeah, boxing probably was the first sport I ever watched. I would say boxing and pro wrestling are the first two things I remember in my life. The first one obviously was The Rock throwing the WWE title into the ocean. That was my first wrestling memory. And then my first boxing memory was Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito Trinidad. I remember my dad buying that pay-per-view. We had a box TV, guys. I'm tired. No flat screens at this time, right?
No.
This thing's taking up half the living room. We're watching the fight.
yeah.
We all think Oscar's going to win this fight, and then he coasts, and then it is what it is. That was the first fight I ever watched.
On the black box, right?
On the black? No, we actually ordered it. It was TVKO. I remember that. Old school. With top rank. But yeah, no black box at that one.
Well, how old were you at the? Let me ask. How old were you when you saw that?
Jeez,
fight?
when would that fight happen? 98?
98?
So I was like 7, 8 years old, man.
7,
I was
8.
young. I was living in Santa Clarita at the time with my parents. And that was the first major fight. I remember they moved in and everybody came over. Party, michila. And I was like, all right, cool. Oh, the whole nine, right? The whole nine. And yeah, that's the first like fight party I remember.
Yeah. What was your family's reaction when they said the decision in favor of Tito?
They weren't kind of shocked. They were like, oh, okay, it happened. It is what it is. I think most of the guys were just hammered by at that point, and we were just enjoying the fight. But I was just in awe. I was watching the whole fight, bell to bell, and that's the first real big fight I remember.
Wow. So there was a big fight this past weekend, right, as well?
Yeah, it was a big fight this past weekend.
When you were on with us on the phone, you were at the Wild Card Boxing Gym, right?
I was at the Wild Card
And
Boxing
you
Gym.
saw a lot of interesting stuff.
I
You wanna
did.
Talk about that a little bit before we get into the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to the Wild Card Boxing Club for Manny Pacquiao's media day. Obviously, it's about 25% usually. That's the amount of media that was there. It's about a quarter of about what his peak 2015. Right, still a lot of people. Right, you go up into the gym. It's freaking hot. Everyone surrounds the ring, right? Everyone's waiting on Manny, right? So we wait an hour. Okay, cool. He's on his way. Oh, okay, cool. He's downstairs. Okay, cool. We're waiting. sweating. I'm wearing a full suit at this time, guys. All right, as you can see, I'm in the Andy Ruiz weight class right now. All right, I was out of. I was ready for 160. I could have probably faced Maurice Hooker this weekend after I was out of there. So we're waiting, and then you hear the money's coming, money's coming. So then people are just freaking out. They're running up the stairs because wildcard, you go up the stairs, right? Yeah. Goes up the stairs. He walks in. He does his thing. He's like his whole thing, his blitz, all that great stuff, right? And then he's so fast, I couldn't keep up with him with the camera. Like it's kind of. I don't know if you ever seen this guy work out. Sorry, I don't know if you ever seen this guy work out.
You're loud enough. Don't worry.
It doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't. It doesn't. His feet don't make sense. Because the way he moves and the angles, I couldn't imagine watching him in his prime, like when he faced Ricky Hatton and stuff. Like that could have just been
even something.
Yeah, something else, right? Unbelievable feet. The power's there. He's in shape, and I expected it. I mean, his calves are crazy. His head is huge. Watermelon on a stick, and he was confident. Everybody was confident in the corner. They're like, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna fight in December, January. And that's it. He worked out for literally 10 minutes. Like, we all got there, and he worked out for 10 minutes. He's like, all right, I'm going to go work out some more, but downstairs. We're like, okay, Manny, you have a great day. Yeah, and then we left.
Yeah, and that's when you gave us your thoughts on who was going to win this fight, right? So
yeah, I really thought Pacquiao was going to win that fight. And I said I think it was going to be like a close decision, but my wallet was saying knockout. And I'll tell you what, guys, when my man Keith went down one time in the first, you best believe I was like, oh, boy, here we go. And then when my man was in the 10th round, when he got hit with the body, I was like, oh, my God, come on. I don't know if you guys noticed on the bets. I don't know how Vegas gets this. The biggest bet was, will this fight go 10 full rounds? That was the big 3-1, 2-1 bet, right? So you're thinking it's going to be a decision? He's going to knock him out, right? So I know everybody was sweating that fucking 10th round. Because that's it right there. Everybody has the money on that, right? Either I'm going to triple up or I'm losing it all. Yeah. So that was a great pivot point. 114, 113. We know what the deal is with that, with Thurman, right? We know what the deal. We're protecting Keith, right? That's like Canelo's random draw against Mayweather, right? The majority decision. They're protecting Keith. It is what it is. I thought Pacquiao won the fight, 116, 111. Yeah, and he won. I mean, Keith was beast. Second half of the fight. Yeah, but I don't know. I thought Pacquiao won the fight easily. What do you think?
Yeah, the same, but. My thoughts were, why isn't Keith asking for a rematch, right? If you're Keith, to me that makes sense, because you can say, look, it was a close fight. One judge even gave it to me, whether you agree or not.
Yeah, whether you like it or
not. Manny Pacquiao, you're gonna make money if you fight against him. Yeah, you have a chance to get your title back. Right, and then you could move on from there. Right now, everybody's asking what's next for Keith Thurman. If I'm him, I'm trying to market myself. I'm like, I want a rematch.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything in that fight that made me go, wow, I got to watch this guy fight Pacquiao again. There was nothing that I'm like, I got to see this guy fight again. Yeah. Not even like I want to see him fight another guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like he just showed up. I mean, he did his thing, and we all know the body has always been Keith Thurman's kryptonite. Right? He's always been issues with the body work, and I already know who his next opponent is. It's Adrien Broner.
If Adrien Broner can win his next fight.
He's got to fight Radak, and that guy's a real dude. Yeah. I mean, Ugas is going to probably fight Danny Garcia now, so you're going to have to take that because you figure it's the silver champion versus the winner of the WBC Eliminator.
Yes. And that'd be a good fight.
Right. That's a great – I like Ugas a lot. I thought Ugas beat Porter. So, I mean –
that'd be a good fight.
Ugas and Danny?
Yeah.
That's a good fight.
I like that.
That's a good fight. And, I think Keith and AB is the fight.
Yeah.
There's nobody else. Who else is Keith going to fight at 147 that PBC has? You know, I mean, Arum can throw the offer for him to fight Crawford like he tried to get with Danny, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. Keith is going to take time because Keith doesn't fight a lot. Keith is a very inactive fighter. Fights twice a year max.
Yeah, he's going down that Gary Russell Jr. path.
Oh, my God. Gary Russell Jr., he takes sabbaticals, man. He's so talented, though. I love watching that guy fight.
He fights every May. Every May he fights.
Every May.
Yeah. No, with Keith, you guys nailed it. He didn't do anything, exactly, to warrant a rematch. And I think he's so real that he didn't even try to ask because he knew people were not going to be invested in that rematch again. Right. I still think he's a very interesting, entertaining character. He knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to, talk that smack, that clever smack where people are going to be tuned in. But, I mean, I was very surprised when the odds did flip because the odds were in favor of Keith Thurman initially, right?
Keith was the favorite when the sports books opened. When the fight was out, Keith was about almost a 2-1 favorite. And then the money flew all the way to Pacquiao 2-1. It completely swung in the other direction. I don't know. Maybe people thought the inactivity, the Josecito Lopez fight. I wish he would have taken another fight in between before Pacquiao, because you're going from Josecito to Pacquiao off of that two-year layover, whatever. That's not good, man.
Yeah, and I think he was hoping that Manny was going to get old, and I mean, Manny had a competitive fight with with the Australian guy. What's his name?
Horn.
Horn. Little competitive fight. It was
How
close.
can you forget the name, dude? Come on.
Who's Jeff Horn? And then the Lucas Matisse, people were like, oh well, Lucas Matisse is over the hill type.
Right.
So, I guess Keith thought he was gonna pick him. It was gonna be the easiest one of the top welterweights, I guess. And so
Even
But it
Broner
was-
though.
yeah.
Even Broner, people were like, okay, Pacquiao beat Broner, but Broner threw a punch around.
Yeah.
Like, let's see him fight an offensive guy.
Yeah.
And then Pacquiao did it, man. Pacquiao.
Yeah.
I think that knockdown, guys. I think that knockdown changed the whole thing.
Changed everything.
I think that knockdown. Keith got up. He did the smile.
Yeah.
He's like, did this motherfucker really knock me down
Yeah.
right now? This little
Yeah.
with the Kodo combo.
With the
Hit him
Kodo
with the
combo.
Kodo combo.
Yeah.
Put him down.
Man.
Changed the whole fight.
No, but if I was Keith Thurman, for people who are asking whether or not it should be a rematch, if I was Keith Thurman, yeah, I want the rematch, but this time with bottle testing.
I thought he was enrolled. I thought he was. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the big rumors, and then Sean, his president, came out and said they were enrolled, and I don't know. That's not my thing. But now that hopefully everybody just enrolls in WBC 24/7, 365.
Don't get me
right?
started with that. I'll bring it up later on.
We're gonna bring up the franchise champion with all this?
You know what the WBC stands for?
You go.
You go.
World Boxing Cartel.
Oh.
All right. What do you call the WBA then? I think the WBA has been a little worse than the WBC
What's the
lately.
case on the WBA?
Okay, how many different heavyweight champions? They have 3 heavyweight champions in the WBA, and then we had a regular champion for welterweight. We had a super welterweight, Pacquiao and Thurman. Right? They unified a belt that didn't really be unified. They unified an organization. Right?
I still think WBC is worse.
Okay. But shout out to Mr. Suleiman. If you want to send me
No,
one of those
fuck
green belts, I will strap up
I
anytime.
should have brought mine.
You should have brought yours.
Yeah.
I will wear it anytime. But yeah, we know what the deal is with organizations. And if you saw this weekend, Al Heyman said, F you, WBO.
Yeah,
we're not even going to bring you up,
No,
bro.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before the show.
Fuck Terrence Crawford, apparently.
You know why, right?
Because Coke doesn't promote Pepsi.
Well,
It's the same thing. Why am I going to promote a
That's
top-ranked
exactly what I
fighter?
told him. That's
What am I going to
exactly what I
promote a
told him.
top-ranked fighter for?
yeah.
Unless there's a fight. Like they say Tyson Fury's name once in a while.
Yeah.
Because there's a potential Wilder fight. But Crawford ain't
Yeah.
But you know what was the biggest? They had Deontay Wilder, Andy Reese. In the
That was
interview. You saw
funny.
it? But did you saw Andy Reese on the information? They said IBA, not IBF, WBA, but they didn't list the
The
WBO.
WBO.
Yeah.
But they gave the IBA love.
And who is IBA, right?
Or IBO, one of
IBF
those.
and WBA, but they left the WBO.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, their reasoning is because they favored Arum and Warren and
Yeah.
Top Rank more.
Yeah.
WBO is essentially the
That's
top
exactly
rank
what
group
we're talking about.
with Billy Joe Saunders
Yes,
and
see, it's exactly what I
Pacquiao.
told this guy
Pacquiao held the
before.
WBO belt. When I heard Billy Joe Saunders was the 2-division champion, I said, whoa, wait, who did he fight? You know what I'm saying? He didn't fight Callum Smith.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But
Yeah.
back to you guys. I'm sorry. Continue.
go-
Yeah, we were
go
talking
back.
about. We were
Yeah.
just talking about
No, yeah,
organizations.
back to that. Let's just say
Which part?
an example. Let's say I'm a champion, and we'll use Andy Reese. Yeah, like you said, WBA, WBO. Wouldn't you feel some type of way like, oh, they just called me I only have 2 titles of those 3, right?
I mean,
you would feel like
Go ahead.
he beat Joshua.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. He's
Yeah.
the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world minus the green belt.
Yeah.
Right? And then the lineal, whatever that is. So he's the champ, whether it's the alphabet, so you want to put every single alphabet soup in there, he's still the champion.
Yeah.
He has all 4 belts, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
WBO, IBA, IBO. He's still the world champion. And people recognize him as that no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I agree. Just loyalty to Al Heyman in the end.
Yeah.
You just listen to your dad. That's it.
I don't care about belts.
He runs boxing right now.
Belts
He
stopped
does.
meaning something a long time ago, so I don't even know who has what. I don't care, honestly.
No, there is no
Doesn't matter.
champions. Just title holders.
There's like
Just
5
title holders,
champions
yeah.
per
Title
division,
holders.
7 champions per division.
Yeah.
And most of these guys win it by winning a vacant belt.
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't Demetrius
Adrien Broner.
Didn't Demetrius Andrade he won he won a vacant belt, didn't he?
Because of Billy Joe Saunders.
Right. He's not a champion. He's just
No.
a title holder.
Just title
Yeah,
holder.
title
Right.
holder, Yeah. Yeah, that's something that we say here on the show. Like, you have to win at least 2 or 3 to be considered a champion or something that's.
But
like,
even
that
then,
you
I think
even
that was
then.
my.
Some defenses.
I
you're
think that was
saying.
my argument with Terrence Crawford at 140. He won like vacant belts, or he beat a guy who won a vacant belt.
Right.
Which is like,
He didn't beat a guy who beat a guy.
like they say you got to beat the champion to beat
Right.
a champion, but
Right.
I don't know. That shit doesn't happen nowadays. Everyone,
Yeah,
it's weird.
No, it's a business right now,
Yeah.
and they're going to be strategic with who they place in different fights and stuff like that.
So where do you see Manny Pacquiao then? So
It's tough. It's tough because now he's a free agent. He's not going to fight Floyd Mayweather. even though they're now on this WWE agenda where I tweet this, I Instagram this. It seems so staged because Manny doesn't even tweet his PR guy. Fred does it. Fred does it for him.
Yeah.
So then Mayweather's like, I'm the head and in charge. I write the checks. It's all hype. Would I want to see the fight? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's the way they're gonna sell it is gonna. Floyd just got older. You know, the skills are diminished, and the Pacquiao's still sharp, and
he's healthy now.
And he's healthy, and
healthy.
you know now that
The
Floyd's
seawater
old body
helped
and
him.
it's gonna be a more competitive fight, kind of like Ali Frazier 3. That was the big selling point in Ali Frazier 3. Is both these guys are old, they fought already, they're just gonna go for it. Floyd Mayweather ain't gonna go for it. My man's gonna get his $100 million.
Why not?
We could even.
He might need money.
Well, remind me that point. We'll continue that thought when we talk about Maxim.
Yeah.
We'll continue that thought. But Floyd is going to protect himself at all costs. I don't think he'll do the fight. He's more than likely to fight an MMA fight, I think, rather than Manny Pacquiao. He's done. He's making money on the back end. For Manny Pacquiao, I don't want to see him fight Errol Spence.
Oh, no.
I think Errol Spence knocks him. I think Errol Spence finishes him. It's too big.
Too big.
If the zone wants to go in hard right now and go get somebody. They already got Mikey Garcia coming in.
Yeah.
If they go and get Manny Pacquiao, they can make that fight happen.
Yep.
They have the rights to the World Boxing Super Series. Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor, Maurice Hooker.
Maurice Hooker versus Jose
Jose
Ramirez
Ramirez
this
right
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have everybody.
140 is a more interesting class for Manny. Manny even said on the record to the media, I'd rather fight at 140. I can make 135.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good fights.
Yeah.
But we know 135 is top ranked weight class right now. So he would have to either go back with Bob, but he's going to explore his options. I think the zone, honestly, may be the best for him right now. But he's a pay-per-view guy. That's the problem. He's a pay-per-view draw still, guys. He's still going to sell 300,000 pay-per-views and make $25 million. Right? So does the zone want to commit that to Manny? A guy from the Philippines who knows how much money they can make off the Philippines with the zone, right? Yeah. So they got to be more strategic with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what's your take on that? Because that's probably the reason why Kovalev Canelo didn't happen, because it's on subscription. What do you see on that?
Kovalev Canelo didn't happen because the money wasn't right.
Right.
That's why it didn't happen.
Because it's a flat fee. There is no
there's no pay-per-view
potential.
upside, which is
Right.
why Canelo is trying to pick and choose his opponents, but the zone is
We
like,
can't.
we're guaranteeing your purse, bro. You don't have a pay-per-view upside. You're gonna pick. It is what it is. I think the zone, if they can get everybody under the same umbrella, it works, right? But it's how much money can they burn before that?
Yeah.
The Russian billionaire on the yacht is like, where's the return on my money, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're going to get Mikey Garcia right now, right? He's a big Mexican star, right? He's going to sell the zone subscriptions. Triple G sells the zone subscriptions. If Joshua loses, he's done. So you got to figure out every bill cycle, what am I going to see?
Yeah.
Right? So they just got to get stars, and they're really focused on boxing. It's not like they're going to go get an MMA superstar. They have Bellator to do that, right? So they're really boxing is the lowest point of entry. Least resistance. So they're just trying to sign as many fighters right now. I think I like the streaming service personally. I think it works. I didn't say the app is great. I like the streaming service for what it is. Like I can go and watch a fight anywhere. I don't have to go and direct TV and post up. I can watch it on my phone. Yeah, it's very easy. $5, $10 a month. Quality is great. Yeah, I'm a fan of streaming services.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same as HBO and Showtime, though.
Well, no.
Not production value.
Production value. HBO's production value is the best.
In terms of you can watch it anywhere. You were able to do that.
No,
too.
HBO never did that.
I don't think
on
HBO.
the app.
Well, you can watch replays, but not
replays.
Because I watch Fights at the Beach. I'm just like this.
Yeah, because before HBO went away.
It's really the same idea. They just call it the zone. So people
I just remember waiting for HBO. Like, when is HBO going to go to streaming? Like, just waiting for it. And then what happened. HBO went away, and
they pulled out. Yeah.
And then now that you see the zone, you see the production value, you're like, fuck, I miss HBO.
I know, right? I said the same thing. I was like, gosh, the pageantry, the way the guys would intro everything, the packages. And now, I mean, we have Showtime still, but Showtime has 2 fighters.
Yeah.
They got Gervonta and Deontay. Like, that's it. That's it. And who else fights on Showtime? Nobody.
Nobody cares about that guy.
But he's been on Fox before.
Yeah.
Right. Gervonta and Deontay are pretty now Showtime exclusives now.
Yeah.
Espinosa's like
Showtime is being used. That's all it is right now.
They're leveraged right now.
Yeah, they're just leverage. Their time is gonna come out. So.
Which is there's why the Floyd fight could happen, because he's so in the hip with Showtime to like, hey, can you do me a solid?
There you go.
We'll see. I definitely production needs to be stepped up on DAZN and ESPN Plus. That's for sure.
Yeah. Alex, what are your thoughts on Canelo post missing the September date? And do you think there's another fighter that can take this didn't for this?
I was actually talking about this with Buddy McGirt before we did our podcast together. Before that Kovalev, all the news where he was trying to do that fight. This is a Super Bowl, man. Mexican Independence Weekend is a Super Bowl fight in September. It's been Canelo. I mean, Triple G the last 2 times.
It's casual season.
Oh, that's what they do?
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo is like the hardcores?
Yeah.
Okay, so you bring in the casuals. It sucks because it was a big event. It's a good fight, big fight. Everyone's used to watching Canelo in September, right? And now he's going to fight in December. Quote unquote, it's an opponent. The knee, there's a bunch of different things that could be possible for why he's pushing the fight back. Why is he going to fight Derevchenko? I don't know. He's
That's
mandatory
crazy.
for the IBF.
That's bullshit.
I don't know if if I'm getting paid $35 million to fight Derevchenko or Kovalev, I'm going to choose Kovalev. I think Derevchenko's a little more dangerous. That's why Triple G doesn't fight him. But in terms of Canelo's fight in December, he's going to figure that out. Oh, your question was September. Is Jaime Munguia a September draw? I don't really think so right now, even though he's going to get the slot.
Versus Triple G?
Yeah.
Oh, you think
That's the fight, That's going to be the fight in September, I think, from what I've read and heard. Ryan Garcia isn't ready yet. Virgil Ortiz is probably the one, but he's not ready yet. So there's Joseph Diaz Jr. is good too. He's not ready yet. No, that's the short answer. So they're going to have to supplement with a Triple G Munguia fight and hope the Mexican crowd, yeah, Munguia! We're going to forget how you fought Hogan. We're going to completely forget how you looked against Dennis Hogan. But we're going to cheer for Munguia, and that fight will be good for as long as it lasts. And it'll be a good event.
Yeah, Chris had an idea. Chris, you want to tell Alex your idea? Who should come in and take that date?
Oh, the Joshua Reese?
Yeah, I know it's too soon. Probably.
I like that.
It's not that it's too soon. They made the fight within a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what was so we talked to Manny Robles. He's like, oh, Andy's on vacation right now. He's not even.
No, he's on vacation in his mind.
In his mind, yeah. Mentally, he's not.
He's training, but he's just going through the motions.
Yeah.
But Chris, he went on social media. He tagged the people. Was like, why not the heavyweight champion of the world, the first Mexican champion of the world, come and take this date for this time around? And that would have been great money, a great spectacle.
I think it would be fantastic. It'd be huge for the zone, right? To have the World Heavyweight Championship. And obviously, Eddie and Matchroom are not going to want to have that fight here. Yeah. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of clauses. That fight's happening in Cardiff, whether we like it or not. Cardiff or Madison Square Garden. I mean, they should do MSG because that was the scene of the crime, right?
Exactly how I say it.
So just run it back. Should Joshua take that fight? Hell no. He should fight Joe Blow, the taxi driver in Wembley Stadium. Go make $20 million and all right, I got my confidence back. I got my jab. I'm not stiff as a rock anymore. Cool. But no, he's gonna go right into it, and that's a very dangerous fight. Usually, guys who go right back into an immediate rematch to get their belts doesn't turn out so well.
Machado,
Yeah, they just think it's a preparation thing, or it could be deeper than that. It could be just a style thing. Ruiz's style is very unique. Yeah. Gets inside, throws a lot of punches, a lot of body work. Rangy fighters Joshua can get the advantage of. Joshua Fury's a better fight. It's all they're all gonna face each other, which is great. But yeah, I would have loved for that fight, but it's gonna be, and Bill Cycles too, because they're gonna put Munguia Triple G, and they're gonna want that fight in November probably. Quote unquote.
I remember when I posted something on our Instagram of that fight, Andy Ruiz against Joshua, and you commented, you asked, can Andy Ruiz do it? And I think I replied, anything can happen in the heavyweight division.
Anything can happen, man.
You didn't believe that, right?
He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. I didn't think he was going to win the fight. I'll be honest with you. But I thought it was going to be I had it one of those 7-5 decisions. I said it was going to be a decision on the show. I thought Ruiz is too tough, short notice. I don't think Joshua can hurt him enough. Ruiz was never dropped before that fight. His fight against Parker was extremely close. Extremely close. Could have gone his way if it was here. However,
you think it's going to be the same thing if the rematch happens?
That's tough. That's tough because can Joshua learn to recover from a punch? Because watch how Ruiz got up from his punch and watch how Joshua got up.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. The legs, huge difference. And then there's the rumors of what happened during the sparring week of, different things. So who knows? A lot could have happened. And then the fight was lost. I should have bet my mortgage when Joshua handed homie the belts to take the pictures. I knew right there. I was like,
that was a big one.
Why is that such a big deal? Why do people make that a big deal?
Psychological warfare.
Mayweather did that to Canelo.
Nah, he went like this. He did one of these
and
kind of things.
Canelo didn't want it.
Yeah, he did one of these kind of things. That's different. That's just, and Joshua just kind of looked a little disinterested. Maybe he looked him over. Maybe he was a little concussed. Who knows? But to answer your question, I think it happens again. I think Joshua wins again.
So this time you're gonna put money?
No, because now because the fight because it's going to be probably like a minus 180 line. They're going to give Ruiz the respect that he
Think
deserves.
so? Like that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think people know how the odds work. It's just if more people are putting more money on Andy Racy's going to be the favorite. That's
Right.
how it works.
So it depends on every fight, right? So some better, some casinos.
Just like Pacquiao, more people started putting money on him. So
Right,
he
and
became
that could have been
favorite.
on purpose. That could have been like, okay, let's tease this.
Yeah.
Let's tease Thurman. Let's see where the money goes. And then
That's how
everyone
they
just
get
went
you.
overwhelmed. That's where they get you. That's
almost
how
had
they
it,
get
dude.
people to bet against
It's a
certain
casino, I
fighters.
think.
I don't
People
know. I always
forget
thought the
that.
bookies were like waiting outside the house and just like.
But the bookies know stuff. The bookies know stuff. Like they do. I mean, that's why NFL has injury reports every week. Like they get a ton of information.
Yeah.
They know how to get their information from camps, from managers, from promoters. I mean,
Tipped off and stuff, right? So.
yeah, they knew. They know. They probably knew Keith Thurman was gambling at the MGM Grand.
Let's talk about
Oh
that.
my
They probably
Can you pull
knew.
up the clip? I'm pretty sure you can find
I
it.
got a text that's saying you're not going to believe Keith Thurman is here at the MGM Grand playing roulette
Oh,
from a guy who was on that card.
If I would have known
Was it
that, I
at
would
3
have
a.m.?
not bet.
Huh?
Was it at 3 a.m.?
No,
The time frame?
that thing could have been at 11 in the morning.
Yeah. Still, I would have still been like
Yeah,
that.
because Broner said it was at 3 a.m. And I've seen pictures, but I don't know if it's really at
That's the
3
problem with a
a.m. or not.
casino is that
You don't know
it
what time
it could be any time. And you know, AB's just talking shit just to be in the news.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if it was 3 in the morning, who am I to say to not let a guy live? You know, whatever. If that's what you want to do in Vegas to take your time off, your mind off of it,
All
whatever.
right, I think we have the clip here.
I won't be there because I couldn't get a flight under $400.
He told y'all the whole camp when he was getting prepared. He's not Adrien Broner. Damn,
What are you talking about?
he told
Yeah,
y'all.
he's not AB. He threw punches.
He meant it in a bad way, dude.
Yo, wait a minute. Can you pause that real quick? Pause that real quick. Put that camera on my face. How is Adrien Broner not going to act like he did not get beat up for 12 rounds against Manny Pacquiao? How are we going to forget he lost 119, 107 minimum?
But the hood saw him winning, though.
The hood.
On God in
The
him.
hood
On
saw-
God in him. On God in him. He's a funny guy.
He's entertaining.
I don't like AB. He's good for boxing though. He's good for boxing.
Oh, yeah. hell yeah.
He's great for boxing.
I used to hate him when he was undefeated, but then Maidana did what he did. And yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Broner was still undefeated though? That would be his arrogance would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
My man would
Oh,
just
my goodness.
my man would just run people over in a Rolls Royce. Like he would just be out of control with it. He'd be completely out of control.
Now, something Gio like says a lot on the show is like, you got to be entertaining. If you're a boxer, you got to be entertaining. That's what he is.
Hey,
You
I'm
can't-
gonna watch his next fight.
Hey, we're
Put it like that.
everybody now is in the attention business.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're a
yeah.
boxer, whether you're whatever. And now that we have paywalls and streaming services, and now I need to convince this person to do 4 more steps to watch me fight instead of hitting the buy button on DirecTV.
Yeah.
It's all about
Yeah.
the attention business. Look at Ryan Garcia. My man Ryan Garcia got millions of followers. He's main eventing at 13-0. This dude is the Justin Bieber of boxing right now. Go see what he brings to Fantasy Springs. You think you're at a Justin Bieber concert. You know, that's what matters is the clout. Andy Ruiz now has millions of followers, so you know he's set no matter what.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. You got to just draw attention, whether it's AB or Keith Thurman saying I'm going to crucify Manny Pacquiao, or you know Jermell Charlo and Tony Harrison talking all kinds of what. You know, that and after the fight they're all hugging and kissing like, oh, good
Yeah.
fight, all business.
Yeah,
you know, unless you're like Khabib or something, you know, it's very different.
Yeah, it's the
Right.
social media age, the YouTube age, where like you can say something outlandish and get those hits.
Well,
and
look-
get attention.
Even
look-
Paulie and Artem Lobo were
yeah.
hugging after the fight.
Well, ask me that one more. Ask me that right now. A big example is KSI and Logan
yeah.
Paul. Eddie Hearn promoted 2 YouTubers.
Yeah.
Those guys sold over 1 million streams. Like
When was this?
Oh my
This
God.
was,
I remember you guys
this was
mentioned
last year. This was
Last
last year. It was KSI versus the Paul brothers, and they had the brother versus brother. Eddie Hearn promoted it.
And Michael Buffer was.
Michael Buffer was.
my
They
God.
afford. They
Wow.
could afford Michael
Yeah.
Buffer. They paid Michael Buffer $100,000. You know he's at least $100,000 to say let's get ready to rumble.
They had
right?
the zone money before the zone, dude.
That's what it was. Eddie was like, "Yo, it hasn't launched yet, but
Yeah.
hear me out."
And how was the fight, though?
It was garbage.
Horrible.
Can I find it on YouTube?
Yo, you probably
Yeah.
could. It ended up being
You
a
had to
draw.
pay for it, probably.
You know, they
Oh,
called
yeah.
it a draw.
Oh,
It was booked. It was completely booked. They were dancing in the ring, hands behind. They thought they were Tyson Fury. So it was, it was it was a circus. But that's the kind of stuff that sells now.
Yep.
Mayweather McGregor. You tell me you wouldn't see Pacquiao McGregor?
Yeah.
I'd
Oh,
watch
hell yeah,
that.
I'll
I
watch
watched
it.
that.
Yeah.
Smaller Pacquiao. You know,
Yeah.
it's a ton of fights. And now with Dana getting into boxing,
Ooh,
it's
do
gonna be
you-
real
Do
good.
you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, do you heard about the rumor that supposedly Dana White might be buying PBC?
Dana White's not buying PBC. WME is buying PBC, and he's going to run the boxing division. He's already hired the head of the boxing division. We don't know who it is, but he's already hired the head of the boxing division for Zuffa Boxing.
Yeah, I heard about movement.
So, that's Coppinger. Shout out Mike Coppinger. He reports that. Yeah, I think Dana's good for boxing. He's going to get the PBC banner. He's going to have Al Heyman and Leonard Ellerbe side by side. They've worked together great for Mayweather and McGregor already. And it's going to be interesting because Dana's relationship with Fox isn't the best. And now he's going to have to deal with Fox
That's true,
with
right,
this
'cause he's with ESPN.
They had a huge falling out with the ESPN deal, right?
Forgot about that.
So now Dana's going to, play nice with the Fox crowd. And it should be great. It should be great. I'm interested to see. I think Dana wants to make the fights. And Dana he's the brand. He is the attention now. Like Mayweather standing next to Gervonta, that's attention. Dana's now attention. If you watch every single UFC commercial on ESPN, who's the focus? It's Dana White.
Yeah.
Dana White's the face.
Vince McMahon.
It's blacked out dudes kicking and punching, and Dana White going like this. And then they got Dana White's
Vince
Contender
McMahon.
Series, and then
Vince
Dana.
McMahon, that's him.
It's the same playbook. It's essentially the same playbook, right? He's the brand. He comes and says, this fight's going to be great. Oh, I know it's going to be great. It doesn't matter if it's Omar Figueroa versus, Joe Blow off the street. It doesn't matter. If Dana White says it's a good fight, people are going to watch it. And that's what Eddie Hearn and Matrick are trying to do. Here, it's not working yet, but that's the plan. It's like, all right, I don't even know who's fighting yet, but I know it's a Matchroom card I'm going to go. That's what everybody wants to be. That's what UFC has established.
Yeah, so
that's what they want to do with PBC, even though that won't be the name anymore. It'll probably be Zuffa Boxing, right? Or Heyman presents something. But yeah, I think it's good, man. I think Dana's going to do a good job in boxing. He's gonna butt heads with people. He's gonna stir the shit like he does, calling Oscar De La Hoya all kinds of names on ESPN. He's gonna do that stuff with Bob. And look, Dana already has a relationship with ESPN. It's not gonna be hard to set up fights with ESPN and PBC. They both have TV platforms and pay-per-view platforms, right? So we'll see what Fox wants to do, if they want to do a Fox Sports Go kind of thing, if they ever want to work with DAZN. But ESPN and PBC can now work. Fury Wilder, that's going to be easy. Dana White can make Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence happen.
Yeah.
That's the only guy that can make it happen, really.
That's my-
Because he'll mouth off, and he's a loud dude, and he's respected in the fight game. People are going to want to make that fight happen.
Yeah, that's my concern with the zone right now. I feel like they're a salvage right now because both Fox and ESPN can make deals, but you don't have to make deals with the zone.
That's the problem. They're kind of the third man in the triangle there, and I don't think it's good when there's too much noise about bad business. Like when Oscar De La Hoya is bad mouthing Eddie Hearn about not getting this deal done, and then Eddie Hearn's bad mouthing Golden Boy Promotions and DAZN about not getting this deal done. That doesn't look good to me. That means like there's a lot of unrest there. The scheduling isn't working. Everyone's mad at everybody, right? And they're investing in baseball. They've invested in Bellator. They're just trying to see a return. They're trying to expand globally.
What do you think the office of the zone is right now, knowing that Canelo's not going to fight in September, there's uncertainty, and then Anthony Joshua just lost on June?
Well, let's go down the calendar. August, Virgil Ortiz doesn't move the needle, right? He's not bringing in casuals.
Yeah.
September is going to have Munguia Triple G. That'll bring in people. Ryan Garcia is slated to fight in September to be determined. So that'll bring in people. October, November, you better hope Josh Ruiz, and then you hope Usyk draws some gas. And, we forgot about Lomachenko and Campbell. That'll bring some eyeballs. But is that going to be the thing? Like, is that DAZN's next step where we're just going to do one-offs with, like, stars, and we're just going to play the purse bid game and not lock people down? I think your point is very strong. I think DAZN they're trying to figure it out because we have all this money committed to people, and they're not fighting each other. Like, Canelo Triple G is probably the golden nugget that John Skipper and DAZN wanted, right? That's the whole reason they're paying over $450 million to both of those guys. That's why I always said there's going to be 4 Triple G Canelo fights. I always said there's going to be 4. I said Triple G's going to win this one close, and they'll do a 4th one at the Raiders Stadium. Everybody's got to get paid. So it's going to eventually happen. Cinco de Mayo is probably the next fight, but yeah, DAZN has to make these fights happen. That's the problem. And now Canelo doesn't want to do the fights, and Canelo's butthurt that Golden Boy is making money away from Canelo. That's another thing people aren't talking about. Now, Golden Boy and DAZN have these Thursday night fight deals that DAZN is sponsoring, and they got these cars in Indio and whatever, the Kameda card. Canelo's like, well, what the heck? Like, now it's not just me. So there's a lot of stuff that DAZN has to figure out. But they're doing good, even though we don't know any numbers. Like, every time we ask John Skipper, how's the subscriptions? It's going great. All right, cool. We'll take your word on it.
That's the thing, they don't release the numbers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So. They're trying to keep it private, which is, I don't know how that is. So.
So we're right here next to the Step Up Center.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, when was the last time you were at one of these fights, and what were your thoughts on those fights?
Oh, Porter Ugas.
Porter Ugas. Yeah.
I thought Ugas won the fight. I
Yeah.
thought Ugas won 8 rounds of that fight.
You're
Personally.
one of the 900 people who were there. Proud of you.
I was one of the 3 people there when Rollies came out at the very end. Like when the swing bouts. When you stay for the swing bouts, you're a degenerate and you love boxing. So
Wasn't Robert Guerrero in it too?
Guerrero's in there too.
dude,
Yeah.
I went to the weigh-in, right?
It's Cholito
And
crowd,
I see
man.
Robert Guerrero. I was like, oh, maybe he's got a fighter on the card. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then I see him step on the scale. Robert Guerrero. Let me get the bout sheet real quick, Sam. Let me get the back. Yo, Robert Guerrero's fighting on the undercard against this Venezuelan dude.
Yeah.
He was supposed to murk. Ended up being a decision, right? It is what it is. Hey, as long as he's getting paid, he's healthy. I'm not knocking it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good for Al Heyman for taking care of those guys to the very end.
Yeah.
Alfredo Angulo fought on a random card too recently for PBC,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I forget the card, but he was
Random. Just completely random. He's like, Alfredo Angulo, all right, whatever. Keep getting paid, y'all. Keep getting them checks.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how do you think that relation is gonna go with Dana White and he said he's gonna have a stake right in PBC.
Well, he's gonna run. He'll be the
Without-
president.
without
He'll be
Heyman,
the
huh?
president. Al Heyman will be behind the scenes,
advisor.
and then who knows how much Leonard is gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably just show up for Gervonta, Danny Garcia, guys like that. But you'll never see Al Heyman.
Yeah.
You'll just see probably Dana and Leonard. And yeah, I think it's good. But once again, Dana's a very stubborn guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna find his way. He's kind of like a mobster in a way. He kind of has the mobster mentality. Like
all of them are.
we're going. Yeah, we could talk off. We could talk off air. But you know, it's
Have you ever seen a ghost sighting? Have you ever seen
a ghost.
the?
I saw Robert Guerrero.
Al Heyman.
Yo, I'll tell you what. One time, I'll tell you. I thought I saw Al Heyman. I was like, oh my god, I thought that's Al Heyman. And then somebody had told me, I broke the news. Oh, that's Sam Watson, and then I found out that was Sam Watson.
We always call Sam Watson Al Heyman.
I thought I always for literally 2 years I thought that he was Al Heyman, and the twins were the Watsons. I was like, okay, Marcus and Brandon are the Watsons, and he's Al Heyman. And then the trainer told me, no, bro, that's the dad. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
They're all the Watsons.
They're all Watsons. Team Watson, man. They're taking over. They take over the valley where I live. Team Watson gym, Team Watson shirts everywhere.
No, but I agree with you. Al Heyman does take care of his fighters, but one promoter that's kind of, I feel like it's under the ropes is for sure Bob Arum.
Why?
Because recently, Shakur Stevenson went on Max Kellerman's show and started dissing not just ESPN, but also Top Ring about the way they promote him, but as well, even with Terrence Crawford. Like, if you look at these two fighters, there's literally, who are you going to fight next? Because everybody's on the outside looking in.
Right.
So how are you going to try to branch out my brand into other people's brands? You know, where do you see that going on? Because
He's got the biggest platform, though.
they do, but as far as like, they have top prospects, right? Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, we got to talk about him
Michael
too.
Conlon and Shakur Stevenson, but after moving up the weight, those divisions are stacked up with other networks. They're all tied up different ways.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're going to do Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson now, from what I've read.
Yeah, I doubt that.
That's the purse bid or whatever. It'll be settled out. Shakur will get another homecoming fight, make some more money, right? They'll figure out the fight for Oscar Valdez. What's been the biggest critique of Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, with certain fighters? They don't treat black fighters well. They don't know how to promote black fighters well. That's I'm not saying that.
No, I think
That's
I said it.
That's what people have said in gyms. Like, Golden Boy doesn't know how to promote black fighters. Bob Arum doesn't know how to promote black fighters. African American fighters. Don't kill me. And I don't know if that's the case or not.
They forget he promoted Mayweather and Hopkins.
He promoted
just
he
used
promoted
his name.
Hagler. He promoted Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I'm talking about De La Hoya just recently.
Yeah,
Right.
He was De La Hoya's promoter, Mayweather's promoter, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now he's got. Yeah, you shouldn't badmouth your promoter, but I get why, and maybe he wants to find a way out. Maybe Eddie Hearn is talking up that noise that there's more money out there, right? I just don't know. They're kind of just. The ESPN's the biggest platform, and you would think ESPN would have the resources, the money,
But they do a horrible job.
energy, and they do because they figure, okay, let's just send Shakur Stevenson through the car wash. Let's have him go on First Take. Let's have him go on Max on Boxing. Let's have him go on Sports Center. Nobody knows who Shakur Stevenson is, right? This guy's an Olympic medalist,
Yeah.
right? He's one of the best boxers out there.
Oh, what's
And
his
nobody-
record?
Huh?
What's his record?
Is he like undefeated?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
what's-
undefeated.
How many fights does he have?
Like 13-0, right?
13-0.
15-0? Silver medalist, right?
Yeah.
Silver.
Silver medalist. Great fighter.
Yeah.
But he's not getting the pub he deserves. I don't know what the rating was for his fight in New Jersey, but how much is that relying on the machine, where you're not really doing the thing? And Shakur had that issue in Miami.
Yeah.
That thing that kind of, we're not really talking about. So,
Yeah, they blocked our videos when we posted it.
yeah. But I kind of forgot your question, man. We kind of went in a rant.
Well, I mean, for example, Teofimo Lopez, right? Let's say next year he moves up at 140. That means he has to go to the zone because everybody at 140 is at
But that's okay because the zone and Top Rank work together.
You really think?
Lomachenko, Krolla, Lomachenko, Campbell.
Because if I'm ESPN, I wouldn't know. I'll let you die off.
Which is probably
It's
what they're
all
going to do.
business.
You take this mandatory. You take that Lomachenko mandatory.
Until that
But when
money runs
Comey
out.
and T.O. come, we got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Aram's stuck with his couple guys, but they're going to find opponents. Crawford's fighting that number 9 ranked guy from Lithuania. Okay, whatever. He's going to knock that guy out in 6 rounds.
That's Crawford's career.
That's Crawford's
I'm
career.
not surprised.
But you know what? I'm not mad at it. I'm
Why?
not mad at it.
Why are you not?
Terrence Crawford is going to walk away with $50 million when it's all said and done, when his career is over. Okay?
I'm happy if I'm Crawford. I don't have to fight
$50 million.
anybody. I get
Is he a
money.
pay-per-view? Is he a pay-per-view attraction? No. Is he a household name? No. But he's got $50 million and he
you
lives in
go.
Nebraska and nobody bothers
And
him.
he only fights in Omaha.
Omaha or MSG, right?
Yeah, MSG.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You got to respect it.
Yeah.
Get your money if that's what you want to do. He doesn't want to be a pay-per-view attraction. If it comes, it comes.
Yeah.
He just wants to fight.
Yeah.
That's why he re-upped with Bob.
Yeah.
He could have probably got more money. DAZN,
Yeah.
Golden Boy, PBC. He could have been on the right side of the street with PBC. But he believes in Bob.
Yeah, Alex, I have a question. You know how
He's
usually
the greatest promoter of all time.
He's a legend.
just
You
saying.
got to
He's
give
a
it.
legend.
You got to give it to Bob.
Yeah.
It's not Duncan.
He was, but he retired.
So Alex, you see these Canelos, these big you see these this Hispanic fighters use that Cinco de Mayo and that September fight dates. This 4th of July weekend, I was looking for a fight, but there wasn't any big fights you can say, and I was like, why doesn't a Deontay Wilder, why doesn't an American fighter use that 4th of July weekend to kind of promote themselves? Everybody's already barbecuing. Can you give me your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I made a case because 4th of July weekend is NBA Summer League, and you have
MLB.
Don't they have
All-Star
baseball or
game.
something?
and you have the All-Star weekend, and you have the UFC International Fight Week. So UFC takes over Vegas that week.
Oh, okay.
My pitch was to have, on my show, I was saying we need to do Wilder Fury on Memorial Day weekend because there's no big fights on Memorial Day weekend. Everybody has the Monday off. It could be a huge thing. And you're right, but there's no, who's the face of American boxing? There is no face of American boxing. The face of American boxing is probably Canelo.
It was Mayweather right until he retired.
He's done.
Yeah.
I think, was it you who asked that question on our Instagram?
I probably did. Like, who's the
Yeah.
American face? Who's the face of American boxing? It's not. It's Canelo.
And we had
Or,
trouble answering it.
Yeah, we had
it's Canelo or Pacquiao. If we look at the numbers,
It might be Tyson later on.
Fury. He's got a cult following in the UK. I don't know if he'll be as big as people want him to be.
They
in
do
the
a better job
Fury?
promoting him than Terrence
Well,
Crawford.
that's well.
and Shakur Stevenson,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
for sure.
If I had a dollar,
That's for
if I
sure,
had a
dude.
dollar every time they said lineal heavyweight champion
Yeah.
during Tyson Fury's telecast, I'd have Terrence Crawford money. You know what I'm saying? But people know Terrence Crawford's one of the best fighters in the world. It's just he's not fighting the competition. As you went back, that's the promoter's job, and it is what it is. It is what it is. Bud is going to fight who they put in front of him. You know what I'm saying? But then what does Angel Garcia say? I can go make $5 million fighting Keith Thurman, or I can make $5 million fighting Rod Salka. I'm going to go fight Rod Salka for $5 million. So good for Bud.
Yeah.
Which I heard an interview of Angel Garcia about the Danny Garcia and Mikey fight.
It's not happening.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know, but the rumor is Mikey's going to go with DAZN, so
Yeah.
I think that's why they're not talking to us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see Danny Garcia and Lipinets. I think that's a great fight.
Wait, who and who?
Danny Garcia
Danny.
and
Oh.
Sergey Lipinets.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Did I say Mike in an accent? No. Sergey versus Danny. I think that's a great fight.
Or Lipinets versus Ugas.
I think style-wise, Danny Garcia Lipinets is.
I think style-wise,
Yeah.
you got that come forward Russian Siberian
Yeah.
dude with the check counter punching left hook dude.
But I like your first fight, Danny Garcia versus Ugas.
That's one of those like.
And they're going to fight each other.
That's gonna be one of those
I'm
8-4, 7-5.
yeah.
Like, oh god, did Danny get beat on the punches? Oh, did he land on him? Ugas is a funny dude,
You
man.
can
I
feel it
interviewed him. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
And I think they're going to fight each other. I think it's inevitable.
Who?
They're all under the same. All those guys. I think Danny, Lipinets, Ugas.
Yeah.
They have to. I mean, they.
Well, yeah, well, Ugas and Garcia, which is that's
It's an inside.
WBC says it, but
It's an inside job if it doesn't
as we
happen.
talked about the WBC and their stellar past, we don't know if that fight's going to happen. But yeah, I think so. Everything stops and ends with Errol Spence. I think everything's going to go through Errol Spence. That's how they're setting it up.
Yeah.
They're setting up that January fight with Errol and Manny, if it does come to fruition. or Errol and Canelo, or Errol and whoever.
Yeah. Who do you have? I mean, who do you favor the Errol if Errol and Terrence do fight sometime down that road?
Golly, I mean, Errol is the bigger fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Crawford is probably the better boxer. I would say Spence is the better body puncher, but I would think Terrence Crawford is a little bit of a higher IQ fighter, so it's a very close fight. I think I would edge Terrence Crawford slightly.
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly.
I think I grilled him for like 10 minutes this past weekend about that.
About that
Yeah.
fight?
Yeah.
He favors Errol.
I just asked him, do you know?
That's a 50-50 fight
Yeah.
as much as
I just
anything.
had one question for him. I'm like, do you know this guy 5'3", 130 pounds almost knocked Terrence Crawford out? That was my only question to him.
He's grilling me about
Gamboa, right? Gamboa
yeah.
dropped him.
I
he didn't drop him. He
just
I heard him. He got him on the Bambi legs
And
a
then
little
got
bit.
knocked out right after that.
Yeah, that ended up beautiful. But I think Vegas did the fake odds for it, and I think Crawford was like a slight, but it's still a pick 'em. It's still as close to pick 'em as it's a good fight.
Yeah, I favor Spence.
You favor Spence?
Yeah, just because of what happened against Mario Garcia.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, and it's not about
I don't think that fight.
a bloated, slow Mikey Garcia.
No, because he did something that a lot of people thought people were gonna do. They just go ahead and run him over, like whatever. He's like, nah. I'm just
No,
gonna
you're saying boxing skills.
Boxing
gonna
skills,
go
yeah.
back.
Boxing skills.
I'm just gonna go back and
And I
just.
think his confidence is higher too.
I think Errol, you're right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna teach up people a lesson, just like Kawhi Leonard taught the whole media a lesson.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna jab him, stick to the game plan, and eat my own words right now.
He wanted to remind people that he's a boxer too.
Yeah.
He's not just a
was the
power
game plan.
puncher, aggressive kind of guy. He wanted to remind people I can do this too.
I think Porter tried to do that with Ugas, and he did it slightly. That was a close fight.
Yeah, Porter completely is like, you know what? I'm gonna do the complete
Yeah.
opposite of what I usually do.
Exactly.
I'm watching the fight. I was like,
Yo,
what the fuck are you
exactly
doing,
how I
dude?
was thinking.
What the fuck? Is that Sean Porter? Like, who am I watching right now?
Seriously, that's exactly.
Ugas was just so much bigger. That was a crazy fight week because Porter missed weight.
Yeah.
People forget that.
Yeah.
I was there for that weigh-in, and they said 148. Oh!
All right, we'll get to it. Yeah.
Whoa! And then you see Ugas is going to go, whoa! And I was like, oh, shit. All right, you got 2 hours. And then, of course, we're all going to wait. We're all going to wait. All right, let's see.
Can he cut his cornrows?
So then he comes back.
We're getting to it.
So then here's the story. So then this is how Kenny Porter says it. They leave the weigh-in. They go to the gym. There's no sauna at this hotel, right? So they go, oh, okay, fuck. Let's go back upstairs. Let's go. The water's not warm enough as the excuse. So they all get in a van and they go to the 24-hour fitness down the street. And we all know traffic around LAX isn't exactly the smoothest. So they got 2 hours to go, work out, get back in the car, get back. So all this is that. Meanwhile, we're at the weigh-in, right? Ugas is gone. The only person there is Ugas's corner, Luis's manager, all this other stuff, right? In comes Porter, and he's getting like wiped down, like with 3 minutes on the clock. Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
State Athletic Commission was like, you got 3 minutes.
There's video though. There's video.
There's video. You can see it. So then this dude gets on the scale, right? And he's you could see it. Like you could see his skin.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as Danny Garcia on the scale when he fought Granados, but it was pretty bad. Porter was sucked in, his hair, and Kenny's just wiping him down and just everywhere, right? Just rubbing him up, right? And then the guy goes, 147, yeah! 0.2. Oh! The towel drops, flashes the whole crowd, right? Pulls it back up, and we're like, oh my God. Like, commission's kind of freaking out because they look at the clock and the guy who holds the WBC belt, like he's like, oh, we're gonna have a vacant fight. Oh my God. So then they cut the hair and they shake out the hair and they wipe him down, and I don't know how that equates to half a pound. 146.8. Yeah, we got to fight. Woo!
But
And then Kenny Porter's like, I told y'all. I was like, what did you tell us? What did you tell us?
No, but Kenny told Sean to take out all the air from your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see his ribs popping out.
Yeah, that was a hard cut. And then, of course, Porter is his own PR guy. Don't worry about it. This is normal. It's all good to go,
I
guys.
had some slip-ups during training camp, but we're good.
We're good. I was like, oh, okay. And then the fight happened, and Ugas looked great. And Porter was, I'm gonna show him what I got, I guess. And then whatever. We all know how that fight ended.
Going back to a little bit to Manny, what I'm very impressed is all the sagas he's had in his career. Like I go back to when I was a kid and he had the Mexicutioner saga.
Yeah, he beat Marco Antonio
Yeah.
Barrera first. Then he had the second fight against Juan Manuel
Yeah.
Marquez, the draw.
Yeah.
Then he lost to Eric Morales. Then he avenged that loss twice.
Let me ask you something, Christian.
Then he knocked out Barrera again, I think.
Yeah.
No Fear Manny Pacquiao was something else. When he had No Fear on his shorts,
Oh,
that was a
man.
different
Yeah,
animal with
yeah.
the headband.
With the
The red trunks with orange.
Yeah, with the
flame.
fire. Yeah, dude.
And
No
then,
fear.
And then he had the Bob Arum, pay-per-view saga, where he fought the Tim Bradleys. He fought Joshua Clottey and Cotto and all those fighters. So I feel like that was another saga
Margarito.
right there. Yeah, this is post De La Hoya, right? That's the fight that got him over.
Oh yeah, I would say like after Ricky Hatton
Yeah.
until like Jeff Horn was like a weird era.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Because
It was
that era.
Pre Mayweather actually from pre Mayweather.
Yes.
that was
Pre-Mayweather.
like who are you fighting on pay per view?
Yeah.
Because when he was fighting Oscar and then Margarito, they're like, these guys are too big for him.
Yeah.
And then he was stopping those guys, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, all right, he's legit. All right, move on to the Cottos, to those type of
Mm-hmm.
names. And then it got weird.
Then it got weird after the Mayweather fight. It's like, okay, it's post Manny's best, but now he's resurging again.
Who did he fight after Floyd? It was Horn right away.
I think Vargas.
Jesse
I wanna
Vargas.
say Vargas.
It was
Yeah.
Jesse Vargas.
Mm-hmm.
Fought Jesse Vargas. And this is why everyone thought Pacquiao was kind of washed.
Yeah.
But then we forget in between guys, we forget that Juan Manuel Marquez
Oh yeah.
sent homie into another planet. Like we completely forget that fight,
Yeah.
right?
A lot of people thought
Man,
he was
the
done.
Simba memes were a little out of control
Oh,
after
yeah.
that fight.
Yeah.
And then Manny got that confidence back. That's another thing we didn't talk about this fight. Is Manny trusted his chin again.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yes.
took some
Thurman-
hard shots.
There was one specific one. I think Keith caught him with a good right.
You see the
Kinda,
head?
his head just kind of
Yeah.
twisted.
And
he
he's
took
just
it
like
well.
this angry Filipino guy.
You guys don't think that Manny's on something?
No comment.
No comment.
I don't comment on that. I want to be welcome back at the wild card.
Wow.
I always say everyone is, so.
Yeah, everybody is.
It's like the belts. They don't even matter.
You can be bigger than the belt. Like the belt makes the guy, but the guy can be bigger than the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Canelo vacates whenever he feels like it.
Because he's bigger than the belt. It's like Floyd.
Yeah, he's a franchise champion.
I mean, the one and only
that's
franchise
the only.
champion. He's the lineal undisputed franchise champion.
I still don't know what that means, by the way.
Yeah. So after Floyd Mayweather, he fought the third time with Tim Bradley Jr. Then he fought Jesse Vargas,
Oh my
Jeff
gosh, I
Horn.
forgot they fought 3 times.
Yeah, and then Lucas Martin Matisse, where people were like, okay, I mean, but it was
Yeah, I
Matisse.
forgot about that fight.
He didn't get too much credit.
I thought
for
it was
that.
like, all right, he's just ending this. He's just finishing
Yeah,
up this
yeah,
contract.
because that was in
so he can
China,
go be the
right?
senator.
Yeah.
That was in China,
Macau.
right?
He
Yeah.
fought Brandon Rios, I remember.
Yeah.
He fought Bam Bam randomly.
But we were just like, oh, it's Brandon. He's slow. Like
That's why I picked the draw for this Keith Thurman fight. Because
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, honestly, he's supposed to be Broner. He's supposed to be Matisse. He's supposed to be, who was Broner? Who did he fight?
But Gio, Vegas was with you because they had a draw at 15-1. Usually draws are at 50, 60
I
to
bet
1.
it. I bet it $30 for a draw for 300.
Yeah, they were like, this is gonna be probably gonna be a draw. Like Wilder Fury, I remember was like over 50 to 1.
And if that first knockdown doesn't happen,
It's a majority
could've-
decision though.
It could have happened.
It's a
dude.
majority decision.
Could've
Because I think after that knockdown, Keith just kind of threw his. I don't think he was used to that type of a scenario.
Yeah.
I think he threw his game plan for like 4 or 5 rounds, and
I
then
think
second half.
It's a combination of everything. That's why Mayweather would beat you before the fight even happened. It's a circus when you fight those kind of guys. The media obligations, the open workouts. I gotta go see this guy. I gotta go talk to this guy. Oh, I can't eat the way I want to eat because I gotta go talk to freaking.
And Thurman
Air
had that
Philippines.
first round.
Yeah, that's
that
what people
first
forget.
round.
He won that round. I had him winning that round until my man got hit with the Cotto combo. But he had a game plan. It didn't work.
Is that the first time? When I'm mistaken, that's the first time Thurman hits the canvas.
One time, yeah.
One time, yeah. He's been down one time, and that's been it. But I think Thurman's game plan was like, I'm just going to wear down this 40-year-old dude and take him into deep water. Pacquiao's a different beast, though.
Yeah.
Pacquiao's a different beast.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in the fact that he was actually gambling. I mean,
If that's you got
can
that's
live your
that,
life,
that, we can go back to psychological, like with
If he
Joshua
won, I'm
hitting
not
the
mad at
belts.
him. If he made money,
If
I'm
he's
not
won-
mad.
Hey, are we mad?
No, I'm
Hey,
saying
do we get mad if Floyd eats McDonald's at 4 a.m. before his fight?
Right.
Oh,
No.
no, Floyd Mayweather, he deserves it.
He can do what he wants.
do whatever he
But maybe
wants.
Keith
But
Thurman
Thurman
was feeling himself like that. Maybe there was people in his ear like, yo, you're 29-0
Yeah.
with 22 knockouts, bro.
let's go make this quick.
Did you see
5
what
Gs real
did you
quick
see
on
you
that roulette.
beating Danny Garcia, man. It was close.
I thought that's how he was gonna fight.
You beat Sean Porter. It was close.
But you know what was so impressive? I didn't even the stats. If you look at the CompuBox numbers, that Manny Pacquiao out jabbed Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
That was impressive, dude.
The man with the T-Rex
Yes,
arms
there you go.
out-jabbed Keith Thurman.
Yeah, with Manny, I mean, we already knew Thurman was susceptible to those body shots, but Manny was always been upstairs. Like, yeah, he throws body shots here and there.
Manny's always upstairs?
But, I mean, for the most, like, he goes to the body, but not as much as, like, other fighters.
Dude, he's everywhere, dude.
But, man, yeah.
Once he got that right hook, he was a Hall of Fame fighter.
Yeah.
But first half of his career, he didn't have that right hook.
It was all 1-2s.
1-2s.
Yeah.
He always had the speed and the footwork and all that stuff.
Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot of credit for the Broner because, you know, like you said, Broner not throwing punches, but that's still a young guy. And Keith Thurman, still a young guy in their primes. And so.
Yeah. I mean, AB's kind of been on a losing streak a little bit. I thought he lost to Granados. I thought.
Adrien Broner?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought Granados beat him in Cincinnati. And lost to Pacquiao. He lost to Porter. Maidana. Who am I missing? I'm sure there's some random guy he lost to that he says he beat.
So Maidana, Sean Porter, Mikey.
Yeah, he had 2 draws in a row, right?
Yes.
Vargas and then what's the other guy's name? Fuck.
Nah, I guess he only has Vargas.
No, I think he's one.
It's one, right?
Just one, yeah.
I think Vargas was the one with 2 draws in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Dollar
Gio's not big on Jesse Vargas.
Not a big Jesse Vargas guy? The pride of Las Vegas, Jesse Vargas?
Nobody in Las Vegas knows who he is.
Yeah, he's the.
I mean,
hey, I was talking about Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas is the Teflon Don, guys.
Yeah.
This guy has gone out of contracts with Top Rank, Golden Boy, PVC. I don't know what he says to these guys. Must be a sweetheart to get out of these deals. And I'm gonna go fight here. I'm gonna fight this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesse Vargas is a guy. He's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter.
I think he has a brighter future as a commentator.
He destroyed Soto. Oh, he's a great commentator.
Yeah.
He's a really good,
Destroyed
especially in
Soto?
Spanish. Yeah, he beat Zarita. He beat Zarita though. It was an old Zarita.
That was a good fight, though.
That was a great fight.
That was a
great fight. There was a lot of headbutts,
Haymakers.
haymakers. I mean, that fight in person was cool because like the ring was all white. Like it was a trip to see that at the forum.
Now, if Sorita would have like won, that would have. I joke with these guys. I was like, oh man, he would have been fighter of the year in my book.
Yes,
Brandon.
Yo, he beat Brandon Rios. Yo, but he was like
At 38.
He was like a 4-1 underdog against Brandon Rios. But I don't know if you can pull it up. Go look at the corners. All right, Buddy McGirt always tells me to look at the corners of every fight. That's how you know who's gonna win the fight. My man, Humberto Soto had the whole Sinaloa cartel in his corner. My guy had guys with bulletproof vests, bandanas over their face. Jesse Vargas was like, this guy owns a taxi business in Tijuana. All right, I don't want to say too much. Go look at the corner, pull it up.
I'm gonna stay quiet. I want to go back to Mexico.
Yo, just go look. And the fight was in TJ.
With Brandon.
The
Yeah.
fight was in TJ. Go look at the corners, people.
Man, yeah.
If I get this clip, if you're watching on mine, I'll put the picture up. Just go look at this corner. You'll know. It wasn't the same corner that was in LA, I'll tell you that.
Man.
Very different group.
Man.
I don't know nothing though. I don't know nothing.
I remember I went to see the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy and like, oh yeah, Brandon's having a fight like sometime like next month. I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. Like yeah, it's somewhere in TJ. Like, and they were so calm. Like, oh yeah, we're good. We're gonna win.
We're good.
So,
It's not like Bam Bam was yoked out in that fight though. Maybe he was like, we got it.
yeah.
But Bam Bam is a 135-pound guy fighting at like 154 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
So man, I always thought that guy had another gear.
Yeah.
I thought he was good. His fights with Alvarado were good.
He was a killer at 130, 135.
But he just couldn't stay down.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Rios and Broner at like 135, 140.
And then we never got
Rios and Broner.
And then we never got the fight. That
No
we wanted
fight.
To see.
What fight?
The Amir Khan, Kilbrook.
Is that going down in Saudi Arabia for the Pearl title?
Something like
Have
that.
you seen Kilbrook lately?
Why? What happened?
He looks like he weighs like 190 pounds.
Man, maybe he's
like
going to fight
200.
Usyk.
He did against Triple G. He was remember they
big
did
against
those-
Triple G.
No. He has
He's been
Santa
eating.
Claus.
Are you talking like he's like Marcos Maidana, like retired?
Yeah.
Oh my
that
God.
kind of
He was in the gym like
They should have Amir Khan and Kell Brook fight with no weight class.
No
Just
weight
let him
class.
come in, get paid millions of dollars by Saudi princes, and
We already know the outcome.
draw.
Draw.
It'll be a draw.
You think Amir Khan's chin can last 12 rounds?
I don't know. It depends how they book it, but I don't know. Amir Khan has like 1 or 2 more fights left. I mean, he's a great businessman. You got to give it to him. My man's a great businessman. He's like, you know what? I got hit. I need to fight Kell Brook. He's like, I got hit, low blow. I'm here to fight another day. And his whole narrative is like, I'm gonna fight another fight.
Yeah, I've always liked Amir Khan's fights. You know, win or lose.
Yeah?
Even though like he gets knocked out,
He's got a good style, speed, inside out, like that.
Yeah.
European
Chin.
style.
Yeah, we talk about that. If he had a chin, he'd be.
If he had a chin, he'd be an animal. But
Yeah.
everybody's got something.
Yeah.
But Ortiz, Brandon, that's the one we never got. Victor Ortiz.
You know
Miss
what's, you know what
Frangiarios.
sucks, guys? You know what sucks? That fight could probably still happen. Hey, Victor Ortiz is with PBC. He hangs at all the PBC events.
Yeah, he was there, right?
We saw him visit Manny,
Pacquiao.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at Wild Card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just hangs out. He's with the PBC
Yeah.
group, and
You know what? Forget this for a minute. You know who else was there at the fight and was at the dressing rooms and everything?
the fun guy.
Kawhi. Yeah, the
fun
fun
guy.
guy.
The fun guy.
Kawhi Leonard, dude. What do you think about that? Clippers.
What do you think about Kawhi?
Yes.
Go to the Clippers?
Yeah.
I think it's a great move.
You're a Laker fan, right?
Oh, I'm a diehard Laker. I'm wearing Laker underwear as we speak.
So is Chris.
Perfect. Now we know the thumbnail for the show.
I'm just wearing the socks.
I think it's a great move for the league because if Kawhi would have gone to the Lakers, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It's over. It's over. Yeah. You got 3 of the 5 best players. Yeah. Kuzma can turn into a top 25 player with those guys around him.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
You want me to tell you my opinion on the NBA?
Hold on. I know. I have a feeling what you're going to say, but hold on. Kawhi's moved to the Clippers. Everybody knew he wanted to go to the Clippers. Magic Johnson talking all that talk and all that media leak is what got Kawhi being like, I can't trust this guy's front office. Everything gets leaked out of the Lakers front office. Magic Johnson doesn't even work for them, and all this stuff is still leaking out, right? That's not Kawhi's MO.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go to the Lakers because somebody told me it was done.
Yeah. Who told
Like
you?
everybody thought.
Jalen Rose.
I'll tell you what, just to give him credit, it's the same guy who told me Al Horford at the Sixers before anybody had that.
Yeah.
So he's got some clout.
Okay.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yes, that's right. However, nobody had this right.
Yeah, I like that.
Nobody had it right, which I love. That's like old school, right? Nobody had it right. Nobody had it right. Oh, I've talked to Uncle Dennis and he's going in. No. Nobody had it right. I love how Kawhi kind of played the Lakers though. That's kind of funny. How he rescheduled, he pushed the lunch with the Lakers away because he was having lunch down the street with Paul George. Like that's pretty hilarious. I think if that trade doesn't go down, he goes back to Toronto, right?
That I agree.
That trade goes down, it changes everything. I love Kawhi in LA. I love him on the Clippers. He's not a Lakers guy. He's not going to do media.
I don't think he's a LeBron guy.
Nobody's a LeBron guy.
Yeah,
Nobody's a LeBron guy. The only reason Anthony Davis is here is because of Clutch, right? And he wants to be in a big market.
I've been saying that forever. Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
Well, it's a different generation. I mean, people still think this crop of players look up to LeBron. This crop of players doesn't look up to LeBron. They want to beat LeBron. They want to be better than LeBron. They want to do their own thing. They kind of see LeBron as the past. We're in the Steph Curry era. Like this is a different world now.
Well, that's my.
You already know I said I'm a fun guy.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Francisco Gallostra. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas. Échenle muchas ganas. Un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Huge shout out to Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview and hope to see you very soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys for having me, taking the time on y'all day.
Against the Ropes, #1.
Freddie Roach.
Thank you very much.